All right, what about positive externalities? What do those look like graphically? So again, we start with our internal supply and demand curves, and we see our market equilibrium. Now, with positive externalities, those are essentially benefits. Okay, so recall that the demand curve is illustrating benefits to society. And so if there are additional benefits to something that are external, we can represent that graphically as an increase in the demand curve, right? Increased demand, right? So however you want to think about it, increase in benefits or increase in demand, however you want to think about it, shifting up or shifting right. But basically, this is what it would look like graphically. So there's higher social benefits than there are internal benefits, which of course means that as a society, we would like to produce at this point. This would be the social optimum, right? Where the social benefits intersect the supply curve. So the very fact, let me actually talk about this, right? So here's where the market would get by itself. But given the fact that at this point, the benefits to society are still higher than the costs to society, there's still some extra surplus that society could gain, right? For all these units right here, let's see if I can do this. That's hard. All these units right here, there's still higher benefits than costs, right? But society is not producing those. So that actually turns out to be our deadweight loss in this case, right? So, similar picture, but this time we're talking about external benefits, right? So how can we correct for these? Well, it's kind of just the opposite of what we already talked about for negative externalities. We want to help individuals realize the benefit, the external benefits. So we can do this. Let's see here. Oops. Finance or subsidize production, right? So this is the opposite of taxing the good, right? So rather than sort of tax it and impose an extra cost, the government actually wants to subsidize the production of this thing. And this is exactly what happens with flu shots. This is why flu shots are free. They're being subsidized by the government. We could also have laws requiring consumption. Car insurance, right? You have to have car insurance legally if you want to drive legally. So there's an example of that. And we could also encourage research and development of similar goods, other things that also provide positive externalities. So basically just the exact opposite of what we saw with negative externalities. And so all these things help the consumer to realize the full social benefits. And graphically, the demand curve shifts to the right.